everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, and welcome to my channel if you're brand new. This is what you get. I can't even say an introduction right. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie and I make bookish style videos. From the title of my video today, you can tell what I'm doing. So I currently have read No Exit, and I thought that I would just do a little review. I will do like this will be in two parts. There'll be a spoiler free part, and then I'll go into the spoiler part because I really can't talk about this book without spoiling it because it's just that good and I need to talk about it, and you're the only people that I can talk to about it. So if you're new here and you like what you see, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like reviews, if you like me, or you know, whatever, just like it's YouTube sees it as the same thing. It doesn't really matter. That's our little secret. But yeah, so all my social media is also linked down below along with the book in case you want to go grab it for yourself or see what it's about if my review sucks. So without further ado, let's just get into No Exit. Okay, so I'm doing this without any notes. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here, and as soon as I said that, all I thought of was Hamilton, you know, where he's clueless, he's penniless, he's flying by the seat of his pants. That song, yep, that's me.
He looked askance, he's penniless, he's flying by the seat of his pants.
Okay, so I read No Exit by Taylor Adams, and I think I read it in like 5 days, which props to me because I'm a slow reader and it takes me a whole lot longer than normal. Like, I'm currently reading A Court of Silver Flames, and I got it the day it released, which was Tuesday, and I'm only on page 16. And I don't know if it's because the book is intimidating to me as like size wise, or it's because it's Nesta and I don't like Nesta, or it's just I don't know what's going on with me. But so I'm currently also reading an ebook, which I'm farther along in, so I don't know, that's not why you came. Anyway, okay, so No Exit is an adult, I am assuming it's an adult, I don't think it's a young adult, it's an adult thriller, and it's by Taylor Adams, if you didn't know. And this was like my first thriller that I'd ever really read. I'm trying to think if I'd read any other ones, and I don't think I have, so this was like my introduction into it. I'm gonna stick it back here because I really don't feel like holding it the whole time. I am so sorry, Corey and Topeka. I'm not sticking it there, it's too big. I lied. So she's just going there. It works. There we go. Okay. So yeah, a little bit about the book. I am a beginner when it comes to thrillers. I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to all things like scary. Mind you, I do love like psychological thrillers, TV shows and movies, and like documentaries about serial killers. I love all that stuff, but like when it comes to like paranormal stuff, I don't nope. So let's get into the book. With all that said, let's talk about the book. Okay, so No Exit is about a girl named Darby, and she is currently on her way from Colorado to Utah because her mom is having surgery and she needs to get there. However, she left in the most horrible time because it's in the middle of this big snowstorm, and her little car is just not going to make it over the Colorado mountains. She's not going to do it, and she ends up getting stuck in a rest stop. She stops at the rest stop, and all's well. There's like cars there, so she's not the only one there. And she goes in, she meets this guy, this girl, this other guy, and this other guy. And then she goes outside to try to get cell reception. She's got 20% left on her phone, and she didn't have a phone charger. She left it at home. Who doesn't have like a charger in their car or in their purse or in their book bag or anything? She's a college student. I know she's got a book bag. So that's not believable to me. I'm sorry. Everyone's got a charger somewhere nowadays. But anyway, she goes out to try to make a call because the one guy named Ashley, he's like, well, I got cell service over there by the statues. The statues are like these nightmarish kids because they're just terrible looking, like statues of these kids. And she can't get cell reception, so she's coming back in and she notices that there's this big van, like a utility van type thing. You know, like the kind of van, in my head I got to like the type of van that's on like Law and Order SVU, you know, like the white van with like no windows. That's how I got, that's what I thought of when I saw this. When I read this. And she looks in and she sees a hand, and it looks like a child's hand, you know, kind of like pressed up against the thing. So she's like, holy crap, one of these people in this rest stop kidnapped this kid. Okay. And that's the premise of the book. Like, that's the book in a nutshell. This all happens in the first chapter. So she is now trying to figure out who kidnapped this child. No spoilers. That is definitely, that's the synopsis for you. Like, that's what the synopsis will tell you. That's it. And this book was so fast paced that I just like devoured it. I loved this book. It was fast. It like drew me in from the beginning because like that all happens in the first chapter of her finding the kid, whose name is Jaybird. It's not Jaybird. Is it? I can't remember if her name is Jaybird or if that's just what the kidnapper nicknames her. She calls her Jay, so I know it's at least Jay. I can't remember if it's Jaybird or Jay. It's fine. The people in the rest stop are Darby, a young guy in his 20s named Ashley, an older gentleman who's an ex-vet, like a veterinarian named Ed, his cousin named Sandy, and then Lars, who's just a shady guy, and he just would be on SVU. He would. So, this book had like a plot twist, and then it had another plot twist, and then it had another plot twist. Like, my mind was blown. I was transcended. It took me places that I had never been before. It was just like, if you're gonna read a book and you're like starting to get into thrillers, like I would say like that one's probably a good one to start out because it's not scary, but it's also like keeps you on the edge of your seat. So if you're gonna start off with a thriller, I would say like that's what I would recommend. Now I want to like dip my toes in other stuff. However, like I said at the beginning, I'm trying to get through, what do you even say, a cusp, a Court of Silver Flames, a cusp. I don't know. So that was the non-spoiler section. Now, if you've read the book and you want to hear my thoughts on all the spoiler, like all the plot twists, you can stay for this next part. If you haven't read it and you want to leave, I understand. If you haven't read it and you want to stay, I understand. You do you. You want to be spoiled, that's fine. But be forewarned, I am now going to talk about spoilers. Okay? Thank you. You gone? Okay. Just making sure. Did you see that it was Ashley? Because I didn't. I didn't at first. I like, when she was explaining Lars, I'm like, yeah, that's it. He's the guy. He's a weirdo. Sorry, Lars. But he is. And I just assumed that he was the, like, and it was really interesting because, like, you found out that it was his van really early on. So I'm like, well, that can't be, because then she just found out who the kidnapper was really early. So what's the rest of the book about, you know? And then come to find out that there's two kidnappers. Two. Count them. 1, 2. And then come to find out that Ashley is also the kidnapper, and it's Lars' brother. I didn't see that coming. And she finds out like right after she they make out in the bathroom. Because ew, just ew. But yeah, I didn't see that coming. And then the poor girl gets out of the van, and then she notices that freaking Sandy is her bus driver. So it's like, she's in on it too? Okay. plot twist 3. And then you get to the end, and I was for sure thought, oh, Darby's dead. Darby's dead. Because the epilogue, they're at the gravesite, and I'm like, oh, they're at her gravesite, so she must be dead, you know? And I completely forgot that her mother had died during this whole ordeal, and that they're just at her mother's grave. That's what I'm taking it at, right? Because, like, Darby lives, right? Like, I'm not reading into this, like, weird, she lived. I'm sure. I read the book, and that's what I took it, because I was like, oh, she died. And then, like, the last couple sentences is like, no, Darby says this. I'm like, okay, Darby lives. But I tell you what, the only thing that was confusing to me was when, like, at the end, and Jay has, like, shot him in the head, but, like, he was so convinced that she had missed. So I guess it was just, like, he was in shock, and he didn't know that she had, like, shot him straight in the, forehead and the face. So I'm assuming that's what had happened. But yeah, like I loved this book. I would like to say that I would act like her in that kind of situation, but believe me, I don't think I would. But I wouldn't have left my charger at home either. So, you know, call me crazy, but I wouldn't have left my charger at home, and I would have had one. Not that it mattered, because there's no cell service anyway. But this was also more gruesome than I thought it was gonna be. Like, poor Ed. Poor Ed. Ed deserves justice. Like, he got his freaking mouth nailed shut with a nail gun. His tongue is up on the roof of his mouth. Darby gets her freaking hand shoved in the door. Like, like, I'm okay with gore. Like, the movie Saw, like, don't get me. But as I was reading that, I was like, ew. Like, ew. I just, ugh.
Ow, 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 ow.
Dang. But, like, all in all, it's a really good book. Like, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I highly enjoyed it. I really can't think of anything else. And then I will watch this and I'll be like, why didn't you say this? Because that's my life. That's how it always works. I forget stuff, and then I'll go by and I'll be editing and I'm like, why didn't you say this? That's how it is. But if you've read this book, please let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. And if you're gonna spoil it, will you at least put spoilers, like, in the comments so people know not to read it if they haven't read it yet. But yeah, or message me on Instagram or whatever, or Twitter, because, like, this book was so good and I just want to talk to people about it, because not like my friends or my family or friends gonna talk to me about it, because I have no friends. We've established that. That's why I'm here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like I said, I just kind of did it on the cuff because I didn't know if I was going to do a review for it or if I was just going to wait until my recent reads. But I figured I would talk about it because I really enjoyed the book. So if you know other books that are like that, let me know down in the comments below. But all my social media is also linked down below. My Twitter, my Instagram, a Goodreads. So yeah, make sure you're following me on there. And I think the next video should probably be my February favorites of February. Really? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys. February favorites of February. I'm not getting a master's degree. Not in English, apparently. On my social media is also, I just whistled. I could have sworn I just whistled when I talked. Did I?